Okay, I'm going to start this response off. This is a response to Suburban Rider. His last video that I seen was about, of course, Bigfoot and the ghost hunters. And if you want my opinion, the ghost hunters are a bunch of crock. But do I believe in the thought of ghosts? I don't necessarily call them ghosts, that's why I hesitated. Yeah. And I'll explain that in a few minutes. I'll go along with, okay, the Bigfoot theory. Yeah, I'd like to keep my mind open on that one. I mean, it would be kind of cool to see a Bigfoot, I think. But the only Bigfoot I've ever seen, to say big feet, would be whenever I was walking in the woods hunting and turn around and look down in the snow. I would see big feet prints then, but that would be it. But even though I don't really believe in them, I kind of put that kind of like a thought in the back of my head. Boy, would it be cool to really have one come up, you know? And but about the ghost idea, there's a long story behind that one. A real long story. Back when I was a kid. But I'll give you an example, a little bit of a story. I'll try to shorten up as much as possible for you. Back in the late 90s, my wife and I, and my son Matthew, we lived in a small mobile home that I bought and was just big enough for the wife and I at the time. So I mean, it served its purpose. But my wife is one of these nuts, well, I wouldn't call her a nut, one of these people that really enjoy hitting the freebie ads that you get in the newspaper. I can't blame her in on this. On this note, I mean, it was a really nice thing. Because she found an ad for a free mobile home, and this thing was newer than what I own and a lot larger. So we called up the number on it and seen if it was legit, and here it was. And the lady who owned it owned the property it was sitting on also, and she needed it moved off so she can have everything done, because she bought a new mobile home and had it from the same property. So, I mean, the only thing it cost me really is to move it and set it up on a new lot. So I said sure, and I hired a crew to come out and tear it down and move it over to a lot, which the lot was like, what, I think 70, 80 miles away from the existing lot it was sitting on. And I mean, the move was pretty smooth. Went pretty smooth. But I myself was going to take and set it up after the crew leveled it off for me. Crew put it on the lot and leveled it off, and I was going to do the plumbing and the electric and set the heating up and everything myself. And it took me about a week to do it, which is longer than I anticipated. was longer than I anticipated. It took me about a week. But I'm doing this. I discovered part of the siding on the trailer because it had a large slide out in the living room. The siding that sealed the room off on the side, on the outside, was missing, and I had to go back and see if the movers hadn't left it behind, and they did. But needless to say, we lived in a mobile home without that piece for about a weekend. I mean, I'll just shorten it up and say weird things were happening, and these weren't an audio thing. And the most I would see was like a mist, and I wouldn't say gray. I would say more or less it was just like a light blue with a gray, and very, very, very faint. And I would get feelings. And I kind of put things together and said, well, maybe this is it. I mean, if it wasn't it, I was thinking, well, maybe I'm crazy, you know? So I went ahead and I asked, whenever I went to get that piece that I needed, I asked the old lady, did anything tragic happen in that mobile home that she knows of? And she said, yeah, yes, it did. I told her, I said, did you have a young adult? Did it happen to a young adult? And she said, yeah. I asked her some other questions too about this young adult. That, I mean, I wasn't beating her in any way. I was kind of just looking to see if it happened. And she got upset with me. And she said, how did you know exactly what happened? And she didn't give me time to answer. She just slammed the door in my face and told me to get what I needed and leave, and don't come back. And my wife was there, and my son was there, and it really kind of spooked them that it happened that way for me. I mean, this is not something that I can explain out and say. I mean, I don't really... I mean, I'd have to really go into it, explain the history of myself and this weird stuff happening. But I don't like calling them ghosts, because I mean, that is such Hollywood. If I'm typing on the internet, I'll call it a spirit, but it's not a spirit. A spirit, it doesn't go into the what I call spirit is. I just think it's kind of like an in-between point of, and sometimes some information needs to be passed on that was not passed on before somebody passed away or something. Because after I told the old lady what I felt, and I told the old lady that gave the trailer to me that the way I felt, it wasn't her fault. And what happened, the son that killed himself was sorry that it hurt her the way he felt. I mean, like I said, this is not audio, no audio bull. This is just from what I get from feelings, different feelings. And I mean, I don't like to go around telling people this stuff, and of course it's going to be on YouTube now, so I'll be out. Everybody will know now, because they would think I'm a nut. So that would kind of, I mean, that's my feelings on it. And I mean, other people can feel the way they want to. I mean, I respect that. I mean, that's their individualness, and they didn't have the experiences that I have had. And I don't like sharing experiences I've had, because they are weird, and I mean, people tend to say, oh, you're crazy, and they tend to go away from you. And this is true, what I'm telling you. I mean, it's not something I'm making up, really.